Hello there, welcome to David's Investment Analysis channel. Today I'm very excited to be talking about a business that's very important in today's digital world. As we move forward to e-commerce platforms or cloud computing solutions or even disruptive technologies like artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, or blockchain, they all store very sensitive and confidential information, and they're susceptible to malware, phishing, and cyber attacks. And the company that will allow you to protect your information, it's Crowdstrike. Crowdstrike stock price went up 58% since it IPO'd in June 2019. In the next bit, I'll be discussing about Crowdstrike, what they do, and how they earn income. Then I'll look at the qualitative aspects of the business and follow up with a quantitative analysis looking at the valuation and the financials. Then I'll conclude on whether I think the stock is a buy at its current price and whether I own any shares of the business myself. I spent a lot of time preparing for these videos, so I really appreciate if you could share and like the video. And if you do not want to miss out on any future videos, please do subscribe and click the bell notification. And if there's any other company you'd like me to cover in the future, please leave it in the comments below. Now let's get to it. Crowdstrike provides cloud-delivered solutions for the next generation endpoint protection in the United States, Australia, Germany, India, Romania, and United Kingdom. It offers 11 cloud modules on its Falcon platform through a software-as-a-service subscription-based model that covers the various security markets such as endpoint security, security and IT operations, and threat intelligence to deliver comprehensive breach protection even against today's most sophisticated attacks. The company primarily sells its platform and cloud modules through its direct sales teams. Leveraging artificial intelligence, the Crowdstrike Falcon platform offers instant visibility and protection across the enterprise and prevents attacks on endpoints on or off the network. Crowdstrike Falcon deploys in minutes to deliver real-time protection and actionable threat intelligence from day one. It seamlessly unifies next-generation AV with the best-in-class endpoint detection and response, backed by 24/7 managed threat hunting. Its cloud infrastructure and single-agent architecture take away complexity and add scalability, manageability, and speed. Crowdstrike Falcon protects customers against all cyber attack types, using sophisticated signatureless AI and indicator of attack-based threat prevention to stop known and unknown threats in real time. Powered by the Crowdstrike Threat Graph, Falcon instantly correlates now over 3 trillion security events a week from across the globe to immediately prevent and detect threats. There's much more to the story of how Falcon has redefined endpoint protection, but there's only one thing to remember about Crowdstrike: we stop breaches. Crowdstrike was founded in 2011 and is headquartered in Sunnyvale, California. Now let's look at some of the qualitative factors. We'll first look at the management team. George Kurtz is the CEO and co-founder of Crowdstrike, a leading provider of next-generation endpoint protection, threat intelligence, and services. Kurtz is an internationally recognized security expert, author, entrepreneur, and speaker. He has more than 26 years of experience in security space, including extensive experience driving revenue growth and scaling organizations across the globe. His entrepreneur background and ability to commercialize nascent technologies have enabled him to drive innovation to market throughout his career. His prior roles at McAfee, a $2.5 billion security company, include World Chief Technology Officer and GM as well as Executive VP of Enterprise. Prior to joining McAfee, Kurtz started Foundstone in October 1999 as the founder and CEO responsible for recruiting the other founding team members. Foundstone, a worldwide security products services company, had one of the leading incident response practices in the industry and was acquired by McAfee in October of 2004. Kurtz has been quoted or featured in many major publications, media outlets, and television programs, including CNN, Fox News, ABC World News, Bloomberg, CNBC, New York Times, USA Today, Wall Street Journal, The Washington Post, Associated Press, Network World, and many others. He also authored the best-selling security book of all time, Hacking Exposed: Network Security's Secrets and Solutions. The CEO appears to be strong and well-experienced and is a successful entrepreneur. He also has helped the company grow year-over-year sales of 85% in the most previous quarter, which is pretty impressive. I would continue to trust in him until I see any issues. Now let's look at the industry outlook. This research here by Allied Market Research suggests that the market is expected to reach $258.99 billion by 2025. Growing at a compound annual growth rate of 11.9% from 2018 to 2025. Drivers of the growth within the cybersecurity industry include increasing malware and phishing threats and growth in the adoption of Internet of Things and bring your own device trend among organizations. Also, growing demand for cloud-based security solutions is a major factor fueling the market growth. Furthermore, cybersecurity's activities are now being prioritized and aligned to strategic business activities to minimize the damage of IT resources, which provides the majority opportunity for the market growth. The cloud segment, which is what Crowdstrike is in, is expected to exhibit significant growth of about 13.9% during 2018 to 2025. The growth of this segment is mainly attributed to low maintenance costs, which is preferred by most organizations. Based on this market research by Grandview Research, the cybersecurity market is expected to expand and grow at a compound annual growth rate of 10% from 2020 to 2027. The main driver of the growth is due to the changing digital landscape, where disruptive and emerging technologies has increased organizations' vulnerability to increasing frauds, cybercrimes, risk, and threats. We can see here the split of the US cybersecurity component between hardware, software, and services. And we can see here that the services makes up the largest portion of the market, which is what Crowdstrike is in. And per Research and Markets, the global cybersecurity market is expected to reach $430.33 billion by 2027, growing at a compound annual growth rate of 12.2% from 2018 to 2027. The key drivers of the market growth is due to the increasing acceptance of Internet of Things, technological advancements, and high demand for cloud solutions. The cloud segment, which is what Crowdstrike is in, is expected to grow significantly during the forecasted period. And it is because of the lower cost for maintenance and does not require purchase, installation, and maintenance of hardware or software. And as you can see here through the three reports, it is expected that the compound annual growth rate is between 10% and 12.2%. Over the next 5 to 7 years, and Crowdstrike will stand to benefit from this growth. And we can see here the breakdown of the total addressable market by sector in the cybersecurity industry, that include corporate endpoint security and security and vulnerability management, to name a couple. And we can see here that Crowdstrike has modules in all of these sectors, and we can see here that the total addressable market is expected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 9%, which is similar to what we discussed earlier. And what we can see here is the number of connected devices expected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 10%. Which is in line with the growth expectation of the industry. Let's look at some of the interesting facts about Crowdstrike. The company was founded on the idea of offering modern, disruptive, and transformative cloud-based platform for their cybersecurity services, and they were inspired by Salesforce with their CRM cloud, ServiceNow with their service management cloud, and Workday with their HR cloud. These three companies reinvented their respective industries by creating cloud-native offerings that completely revolutionized their respective industries. And Crowdstrike believes that they are the fourth pillar of the cloud revolution with their security cloud. Crowdstrike offers the first cloud-native software as a service security platform with no on-premise versions. They also offer subscription-based only and does not offer perpetual license, providing Crowdstrike strong, scalable, recurring revenues. Here are some of the very outstanding numbers provided from the most recent quarter: 88% annual recurring revenue, 91% subscription revenue, and 89% subscription revenue year-over-year growth. The biggest issue for cybersecurity is preventing breaches at the endpoints, because that's where the sensitive and confidential information sits. Endpoints include computers, servers, mobile, tablets, Internet of Things, and virtual workload. And a lot of the security products out there would require on-premise installation of hardware systems, which can be costly to install and maintain, or a software installed on the endpoints, which can be burden on the endpoint users, and lower productivity because of processing the data locally and not on the cloud. They tend to consume a lot of memory and processing power. And the worst of yet, they're sometimes ineffective, because generally the software or hardware only has visibility of previous attacks through a database of signatures, which must be consistently updated and maintained and used to scan the endpoints. To solve this issue, Crowdstrike built a 100% cloud-native endpoint security platform, which includes three components: single intelligent agent, proprietary distributed threat graph, and cloud modules. The single intelligent agent is smart, lightweight, intelligent by design, frictionless deployment, non-invasive, install in less than 30 seconds, and do not need to reboot. This was particularly important for the mass rollout to organizations, as it allowed a quick and simple way for implementing the systems without being disruptive to organizations' business. All the data is stored on the cloud, where it's analyzed almost instantly across the entire customer base. And to handle all this, Crowdstrike built their proprietary distributed threat graph, and it will connect the dots nearly instantaneously to identify threats and stop breach. Over 3 trillion events are captured and processed per week. And in order for AI to be effective, it must be built on a cloud-native architecture where it can be trained on the largest and most representative data sets. And that's the Crowdstrike Falcon platform, as a system that can collect once and reuse many times. Crowdstrike offers 11 cloud modules on this platform through 3 categories: endpoint security, security and IT operations, and threat intelligence. The cloud native is better because of the data access that provides constant protection, with data analysis that continues to learn, and data reuse, collecting the data once but reused many times. Crowdstrike has been able to grow rapidly, expanding their customer base, growing year over year 105% to 6,162 subscription customers, with 49 of the Fortune 100, 11 of the top 20 banks, and 40 of the top global 100 companies as its customers. These are pretty impressive numbers. Some of these customers include ADP, Berkshire Bank, Hyatt, the Pokemon Company, and Sony, just to name a few. Let's look at some of the risks. The global health issue, if it continues, may adversely affect the business operations and the financial results as a result of decreasing subscription-based payments and delay of security system upgrades. Crowdstrike faces intense competition and could lose market share to competitors, which could adversely affect their business, financial condition, and results of operations. The competitors include McAfee, Broadcom, Microsoft, BlackBerry, VMware, Palo Alto Networks, and FireEye. Crowdstrike has incurred losses since inception and may continue to incur losses into the future and may not be able to achieve or maintain profitability. This may lower investor confidence in the company. Crowdstrike's business is to protect sensitive and confidential information, and they are required to conform to data protection, security, privacy, and other government and industry-specific requirements or regulations. And if Crowdstrike is not able to satisfy these, the business can be adversely affected. Now let's look at the quantitative analysis. Crowdstrike has demonstrated explosive and rapid growth in annual recurring revenue and experienced an 88% year-over-year ARR growth in fiscal 2020. This is impressive, and recurring revenue is always great because they will have this income every year. They also have amazing revenue growth in fiscal 2020 with 99% subscription year-over-year growth, and for their most recent quarterly earnings, they saw 89% subscription year-over-year growth. We can see majority of Crowdstrike's revenue is recurring and is subscription-based. What we can see here is a very interesting metric. The dollar-based net retention rate is above 120%. This is additional revenue through expansion of endpoints and cross-selling additional cloud modules to existing subscription customers, meaning on an average, a customer has purchased additional products from Crowdstrike. We can see here that the majority of Crowdstrike's clients has 4 or more cloud module subscriptions, with more than 35% with 5 or more. Next, we see here is improved gross margins over the last several years from 36% in fiscal 2017 to their most recent quarter 78% for subscription gross margin and 75% for total gross margin. This is more than doubling the gross margin since 2017. In addition to improved margins, they have also been able to lower their sales and marketing, research and development, and general and administrative expense as a percentage of revenue, resulting in significantly improving operating margins and a positive one in their Q1 fiscal 2021. Longer term, they hope to achieve a 20% operating margin through lowering mainly sales and marketing expense as a percentage of revenue. Let's look at the most recent quarter highlights. As discussed previously, great revenue growth, great annual recurring revenue growth, improvements in gross margin, income from operations, and net income. In addition, what's very positive is the positive free cash flow of $87 million compared to negative free cash flow a year ago. The cash and cash equivalents increased to $1 billion as of April 30th, 2020. And reviewing their balance sheet, they do not have much liabilities and sufficient cash to pay off all of their liabilities. This speaks to how strong their balance sheet is, and with a positive free cash flow, they can continue to have the flexibility to grow its business without having to raise money through debt or equity. What we see here is management's guidance for their Q2 and fiscal 2021 results. These numbers are pretty in line with analyst expectations, getting closer and closer to profitability. Let's look at some of the valuations compared to competitors. The market cap of BlackBerry is $2.6 billion, VMware is $59.5 billion, Palo Alto Networks is $24 billion, FireEye is $3 billion, Okta is $25.8 billion, Crowdstrike is $21.9 billion. We will ignore the earnings ratio because majority of these do not have positive earnings currently. Looking at the price to sales ratio, Crowdstrike appears to be expensive compared to the group, but it has the best growth with 46% average annual growth for the next couple of years. Looking at a more representative metric of price to sales to growth, Crowdstrike has the second best ratio after Palo Alto Networks with a ratio of 46.8. And looking at the net cash after all debt as a percentage of market cap, Crowdstrike has the second best ratio after BlackBerry with a cash of 4.59% of market cap. Let's look at the stock charts. The stock has gone down 3.39% in the last month, but up 49% in the last 3 months, 62% in the last 6 months, and 50% in the last year. Looking at the analyst recommendations, there are 4 strong buys, 12 buys, 4 hold, and 1 sell with an average rating of a buy. The price target is expected to be between $75 and $125 with an average of $110.30. The price of the share currently sits at $101.46. Conclusion. In my opinion, at today's price of $101.46, I think it is a buy because of the following reasons. Strong management team led by CEO and founder George Kurtz, who is a knowledgeable and experienced entrepreneur, that were able to grow revenues year over year of 85%, which is very impressive. Crowdstrike is in the cybersecurity industry and is expected to grow 10 to 12% annually for the next several years, so the opportunity would be there for Crowdstrike to grow. Crowdstrike has amazing realistic projections and is set to grow faster than the industry, suggesting that it will take market share from other competitors. Crowdstrike has a very unique solution to cybersecurity that makes a lot of sense, as it is affordable, simple, and straightforward to install and barely impacts the endpoint user, and is very effective. They currently have 49 of the Fortune 100, 11 of the top 20 banks, and 40 of the top global 100 companies as subscription customers. This is a testimony of how strong and effective the Crowdstrike solution is. Crowdstrike has a reasonable price to sales to growth valuation and a strong balance sheet compared to competitors. But I do have some concerns. The global health issue, if it continues, may adversely affect the business operations and the financial results as a result of decreasing subscription-based payments and delay of security system upgrades. The growth potential looks very promising, but reminds you that these projections are only estimates, and they can be very different from reality. Crowdstrike has incurred losses since inception and may continue to incur loss into the future and may not be able to achieve or maintain profitability. This may lower investor confidence in the company. Crowdstrike faces intense competition that could lose market share to competitors, which could adversely affect their business, financial condition, and results of operations. The competitors include McAfee, Broadcom, Microsoft, BlackBerry, VMware, Palo Alto Networks, and FireEye. Crowdstrike's business is to protect sensitive and confidential information, and they are required to conform to data protection, security, privacy, and other government and industry-specific requirements or regulations. And if Crowdstrike is not able to satisfy these, the business can be impacted. Disclosure: I currently do own 1/3 of position in Crowdstrike, and I do intend on buying more shares in the future. I'll continue to follow the company and watch the stock price, and would buy on any pullback. I do think the company is a great company, and I think it's in the right industry. And I think it does also have the right resource to help it succeed. That's it for now. I spent a lot of time preparing for these videos, so I really appreciate if you could like and share my video. And if you do not want to miss out on a future video, please do subscribe and click the bell notification. Thank you for watching. Until then, see you next time.